This is a special meeting of the Board of Commissioners and Board of Education. Can we all stand for a flag salute? Take a roll call of the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner DiMaggio. Here. Commissioner Dudak. Here. Commissioner Montello. Here. Commissioner Bruzzo. Here. Mayor Giangerusso. This special meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Meetings Law. Notices of this law were electronically submitted to the Bergen Record and Star Ledger on February 17, 2016, and posted on our municipal website. In addition, copies of notices were posted on bulletin board in the municipal building and municipal annex and filed in the office of the municipal clerk on the aforementioned date. Notices on bulletin board have remained continuously posted. At this time, may I have a roll call for Board of Ed?
Roll call.
Mr. Abrascato.
Here.
Ms. Alberti.
Here.
Ms. Alciuri.
Present.
Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Ms. Jarvis.
Here.
Ms. Malinak.
Here.
Mr. Musto.
Here.
Mr. Schweck. Here. Mr. Vuno.
Here. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the following means. Annual notice was sent to the Herald and News, the Record, the South Bergenite, the Observer, Township Clerk, and posted in the lobby of the Town Hall and Board Office, setting forthcoming scheduled work meetings and public meeting of the Board.
At this time, Mayor Giangerusso would like to say a few words.
Good evening. Lyndhurst residents, members of the Board of Commissioners, Board Attorney Mr. Delesio, Superintendent Dr. Carino, Assistant Superintendent Mr. DeMarco, Business Administrator Mr. DeBiza, School Board President Mr. Vuno, and members of the Board of Education and the Lyndhurst educational community. I thank everyone for this great turnout. It's an important meeting tonight. At this time, I ask for a motion to adopt the resolution. Motion?
Motion made.
Second?
Second.
For the record, I'll be reading the entire resolution. There's a resolution that's being passed or voted on by the Board of Commissioners, and then a sister resolution, which is the same wording, will be voted upon by the Board of Education. It's a resolution approving the 2016 Shared Services Agreement with the Lyndhurst School District, and thereby approving a school facilities improvement program, including the replacement of Lincoln School. Whereas on November 24, 2014, the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Lyndhurst, after giving due notice to the property owner, the Lyndhurst Board of Education, and upon receiving a resolution to the same effect from the Lyndhurst Planning Board, designated the property located at Block 89, Lot 9, the Lincoln School, as an area in need of redevelopment, subject to condemnation, having first declared the school as an ANR on February 9, 2010. Wherein the meaning of the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 48:12-1 at sequence N, whereas on August 25, 2015, the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Lyndhurst adopted a resolution endorsing the improvements to the Lyndhurst High School, Lyndhurst Elementary Schools, and approving the construction of a new junior high school on Matera Field. A copy of the certified resolution is attached and shall be considered a part of this resolution as though it was incorporated herein in full. And whereas the Lyndhurst Board of Education, together with the Township of Lyndhurst, has developed a school facilities program encompassing all grades to be integrated with the replacement of the Lincoln School so that the district-wide school facilities improvements will be made. And whereas the Lyndhurst Board of Education applied for, in October 2015, received 7 Lyndhurst School Facilities Project approval letters from the State of New Jersey Department of Education, indicating the eligible costs to be paid for by state aid as more particularly set forth in the Shared Service Agreement, also commonly referred to as an interlocal services agreement. And whereas the improvement of public schools has significant impact on residential property values, increasing home values by approximately 20% or more, which is a primary objective of the Lyndhurst Board of Commissioners. And whereas the Lyndhurst School Facilities improvements shall be subject of a $19,026,555 public proposal or referendum, being scheduled for November 8, 2016, including funding of $4.5 million plus or minus in improvements to Lyndhurst High School, with state aid covering approximately $4 million of the cost of the referendum. And whereas the Lyndhurst School District has indicated that the improvements to Lyndhurst High School would allow the school district to provide greater opportunity in the areas of vocational technical instruction and professional preparatory coursework. Instructional space would be created by the proposed improvements to provide students the opportunity to prepare for careers in the health and medical sciences, architecture, engineering, etc. This would result in cost savings, leaving less need for the district to depend on out-of-district schools to provide such instruction to interested students. This would also invite more township students with an interest in these areas to study at Lyndhurst High School instead of seeking out-of-district schools. And whereas the Lyndhurst School District indicates that the improvements to the elementary schools will allow neighborhood schools to remain fully intact, this neighborhood configuration will allow students to remain in the primary school grade for grades kindergarten through 6th, and then proceed to a new facility at the new Lyndhurst Junior High and improve facilities at Lyndhurst High School. And whereas, so as to increase residential property values and improve our children's education, the Lyndhurst Board of Commissioners hereby commit to funding, through the authorization of shared services agreement, the acquisition and replacement of the Lincoln School in the approximate amount of $53 million. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Lyndhurst that the 2016 Lyndhurst School Facilities Program is hereby approved, including the replacement of Lincoln School by the Township with a new Lyndhurst Junior High School at an estimated cost of $53 million. The Board of Commissioners also endorses the proposed improvements to the Lyndhurst High School and elementary schools, which said capital improvement program will be placed on the aforesaid referendum. Be it further resolved that the shared services agreement between the Township of Lyndhurst and the Lyndhurst School District, which shall provide for the construction and management of the entire 2016 school facilities improvement program, is hereby approved and authorized by the Board of Commissioners, and the mayor is hereby authorized to execute the shared services agreement.
May I have a motion to adopt the Board of Commissioners interlocal services agreement?
Motion made.
Second. Commissioner DiMaggio. Commissioner Dudak.
4.
Commissioner Montillo.
4.
Commissioner Rizzo. Mayor Andreessen.
Before calling the roll, I just want to make a brief statement. My job as the mayor is to help lead our community. The commissioners and I meet with challenges presented every day. We take care of our seniors and watch over our children, and strive to keep Lyndhurst the great community that it is. But our community has struggled with this issue, antiquated and deteriorating school facilities for decades. For our children, for our grandchildren, and for our property appreciation values, now is the time. As the mayor, I am proud to join the 13 individuals on these two boards to support this project as one team. And to show our unity, I ask each member of the Board of Commissioners to make a brief statement as they vote. Since this is a joint meeting, I also ask we have the Board of Education vote so they can adopt the same motion. Likewise, I respectfully ask School Board President Mr. Vuno and the Board of members individually to vote and make a brief statement. Our goal is to unify two boards, one project, one team. Thank you.
Okay, there'll be a statement made by the board president.
The first thing we're going to do is have a motion on the resolution. And do I have to make a motion? Second? We have a second. Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato.
4.
Ms. Alberti.
4.
Ms. Alciuri. 4. Mr. Grillo. 4. Ms. Jarvis. 4. Ms. Malinak. 4. Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck. 4. Mr. Bruno.
4. We're going to do the same thing as the Board of Commissioners. We're going to have each board member give a brief statement as to why this whole thing came about. This is a historic event in Lyndhurst. We've tried, there hasn't been a new building proposal here since the year 2000 when we added on to the high school. So this is for our students, future students going on. This is a great moment for Lyndhurst. And I hope you could appreciate the fact that we have a Board of Commissioners and a Board of Education that is in full agreement to what's happening here. So if Mr. Giangerusso would like his commissioners to say a few words first, and then we'll do the same thing for the Board of Education. Sure.
Commissioner Matt Russo, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to make a couple of statements on the facilities that we've been dealing with for the last, in my time, where I went to school, was 95 years old in Roosevelt School. And they've been treated as best as we could treat them. We've been repairing them, doing everything we could do with them. But we need to bring the facilities back into where the children today can learn what they need to learn and be educated to get into that workplace that they need to get into in the near future. So my vote is yes. I'm more for it 100%. And John, thank you very much.
I can't think of a time that I've been more proud to be a Lyndhurst resident. What better way to represent the town that I grew up in, or my family, than to be a part of a decision that will have such a positive impact on the students of Lyndhurst. Our kids deserve this, and our community deserves this. My vote is yes.
Good evening. This certainly is a very, very proud day for all of Lyndhurst. I think in terms of change, it's long overdue. But thank God we're not going to make the mistakes that some of our parents and grandparents made before us. We certainly do have to look at the children, and we have to look and give the tools to the teachers to be able to educate these children. I've raised 4 children in this town, and I want them to stay here. But in order to keep those people here, we need to have a better system. With all that they've had to deal with, I commend all of the teachers. But it's time that we give them something that they can give back to our children. So I'm a yes for this.
Good evening, everyone. What a day. This day will go down in infamy, as said by our once President Roosevelt. I am so proud that the Board of Education and the Board of Commissioners have gotten together today to approve this unbelievable project. And for everyone standing or sitting in this room, the opportunities for everybody in here are just endless. So my vote is a yes.
Turn this over to Mr. Vononel, President of the Board.
Okay. Where are we? Mr. Abiscato, would you like?
I say thank you to the Lyndhurst Board of Commissioners, for everybody here. There's about 400 people here. This is a fine day for our community. Those of you who have spent any time in Lincoln School, hopefully you haven't, but for those of you who do spend time in Lincoln School, it's a disaster. So we do have to replace that building, and again, it has to happen. So this is a big day for everybody in town, that's for sure.
Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to thank you all for attending and the Board of Commissioners for giving us their support as well. 7 generations of my family have attended the Lyndhurst Public Schools and are still attending the Lyndhurst Public Schools, myself included. We've gone all through the system, and every year we hope that something new will occur. Well, this is the year, and we want to thank you very much. And hopefully, everyone that is here will get one person out to vote with them. We will pass this referendum. Thank you. My vote is yes.
Well, I'm the first generation here living in town, but I'm just as happy as you are. And it's happy for everybody that's out there. I couldn't be happy that 18 months of planning and work and blood, sweat, and tears by everybody on the stage went into making this happen tonight. This is great. I couldn't be more happy. And for our kids, for these two right here, they're going to go up and hopefully be in that school. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, and that's why we're going to make the district better. We're going to improve the academics. We already have the best athletic facilities, thanks to the Commissioner DiMaggio, but we're going to have the best academic facilities as well. And I just want to say thank you to the Mayor, Commissioners, and everybody else who worked on this project. Thanks a lot. And my vote is absolutely yes.
People of Lyndhurst, the time is right. This project is very necessary and very needed, and your support will be greatly appreciated. So please help us out with this referendum, and my vote is a definite yes.
I vote yes as well. I have worked on several referendums, and all of them failed, but I cannot be happier to see this one pass. We will have a junior high school, and with your help, we will be able to improve on the facilities that we already have. Our staff does a tremendous job working in the facilities that are available to them. Hopefully, this will afford them the resources that they need to continue and to excel even more. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. It's really a great showing. This is something that I think everybody has been waiting for such a long time. I think it's the future of the town. I think it's definitely the future for our kids, and we are looking for the future to build and make Lyndhurst the best town ever. And I vote yes.
Well, after all these years of being on the Board of Education, this really is the first time that the entire Commissioners and Board of Education have been this close and this one team, like the mayor's just said. I thank them, and I thank the Board of Education too for doing this. We've needed it for a long, long time. Is everybody registered in this room to vote? If anybody is not registered, get out there and get registered, because we've got probably enough votes with the people in this room and their families to pass this. So we don't have to go anywhere else to get any votes. So get out there and vote. Again, thanks for coming tonight. And let's pass.
I'm very excited for this project. I'm thankful to everybody up there who's worked so hard to get to where we are today. I look forward to the middle school. I look forward to the referendum and passing and getting everybody out there in support of this. I have small children, and I look forward to the future of all the children in this town and the great things that are to come.
Mr. Carino?
Good evening. As the interim superintendent, I'm also delighted to be a part of this project. It's historic, as has been mentioned. It's innovative. You've heard about shared services, but this is more than shared services. This is a shared common vision of those people who are responsible to educate your children, and those people who are responsible as the town fathers to oversee the continuous quality improvement in the community in which you live. This is the right thing to do. It's about fairness. It's about what is just. It's about caring. And as parents, you know that the greatest gift is the gift of giving. And what better gift can you give your children than to enhance the facilities of the schools in which they're educated, from pre-K to grade 12, so they can go on to successful careers, successful higher education colleges and universities, and hopefully the best, most selective colleges and universities in the country. And for those who move directly out of high school into other forms of education and careers, occupations, vocations, which we so desperately need, as you know, in our country, this is a phenomenal program that's been established by the joint effort, the collective thinking, and beyond thinking, the wisdom of people who've been involved in this project for a long time, which dates back many, many years. There are individuals up here at the table that have really devoted a good portion of their life to serving the community. That needs to be respected. That needs to be understood and appreciated. This is about generations to come. It's not about past generations. It's about doing the right thing. It's been mentioned earlier, this is the right thing to do. The time is right. The community is the right place. Lyndhurst has always been a closely knit community, caring for one another. Now it's time for everyone to step up, not make excuses, put the apathy aside, put the energy in the right place for the right people. And those people are the children of the community. I challenge anyone here, the mic will be open for people to ask questions, and I challenge you to ask the most difficult questions, because good decisions are made based on good information, and you deserve that information. It's going to be open, it's going to be clear, it's going to be comprehensive, so that we don't just pass this, but pass this with an incredible mandate from each and every one of you voters in the community. Much has been said about concerns not being able to garnish the type of support that should be garnished. There's really no excuse. Those that live in town that aren't registered should be registered to vote. So if you, in your family, your friends, people in your neighborhoods, if you know they're not registered, please get them registered to vote, and then get them out there to vote, to do the right thing for our children. Thank you.
I'm going to stand up because I'm just a teacher and I just talk better when I'm standing. I honestly am just so grateful to be part of something as big as this is. Like so many people have mentioned, to be here tonight and be a product of the Lyndhurst school systems, to have watched my own children flourish and grow and develop and go on to enter their careers. And some are still in process, and we're still moving those cabooses up. But what I've been privileged to be is someone with a first-hand view of your children. I've seen them on the playgrounds as a friend to some of my own children. I've seen them in the classrooms at the middle school level, and many of them, I see a few here tonight, have gone on and have kept in touch and are doing great things. Some of them I had the privilege of seeing at the high school level and really being able to challenge them. Some of them I saw in summer school as well, and we got through that together. But what I've seen are some of the brightest, kindest, most thoughtful students in all of Bergen County, and I will challenge any other town within this county on that claim. And they're that way when we receive them in our classrooms because of the work that you're doing at home. You are their lifelong educators. You are their first educator, and you are their constant educator. And when I think of the possibilities here, I think that finally our incredible team of faculty, our incredible staff, the amount of work that our coaches do after hours, the programs that we offer before the school day even begins, they are going to be able to contribute so much more to the work that we know you're doing in your homes. So the connectivity here is certainly between the Board of Education and the Board of Commissioners, but it's really an opportunity for us as a community to really be able to shine. And we're going to do that through the work of our children, your children, our students, and the accomplishments that they're going to achieve as a result of all that we're doing here starting tonight. Thank you again for the support.
Before we proceed with the balance of the of this meeting, I need to have the President of the Board of Education and our Mayor, and of course Angela as our to be able to sign off on this shared service agreement. So if you come forward.
Actually, I want to keep that.
Oh, you wanted this?
Yeah.
What was it? To move it in
I just want to let you know that with this way, it's very clear to everyone here. The signing of this document means that we are building a junior high school. There is no other. So with that, what we're really talking about here too tonight is that we're building a junior high, which is a building. But what we're really doing is now we're going to ask you for support to construct a premier school, a facility, a bunch of facilities that will give us a great education for our kids. It's more than just one building. This is a reorganization of how we deliver education in the township of Lyndhurst. So the biggest part was done. Let's do the last part. Let's not do this halfway, folks. You know, we've spent money before and we go halfway and never finish our chore. Let's do this. We'll do this now. You won't have to do this again, probably in all of your lifetimes and my lifetime. Because as we see from Lyndhurst, we build schools once every 110 years. So unless you all plan on living to 175, we're okay.
I want to say one last thing. You know, we have great teachers in our system. Tremendous teachers. I mean that wholeheartedly. And they've been working under a handicap of these buildings for a long, long time. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like when they have everything they need at their fingertips. We are going to be a tremendous service.
May I have a motion to open the meeting to public comments? Second. Commissioner DiMaggio, Commissioner Dudak, Commissioner Montello, Commissioner Rizzo, Mayor Giangeloso.
Wondering what the timeline is from start to
Could we have your name?
presentation? Denise Gilmore.
Timeline. Good.
Okay, well, the first thing that happens at this point is we're going to go out and do the better specifications for the junior high school and then go back for the process of funding, the process of going out to get bids. You've got several years before you'll see the junior high school being prepared for opening. I don't want to put a hard date to it, but I would say certainly it's at least 4 years before you'll be attending that school. As far as the other improvements, with the passage of a referendum in November, that'll be a little quicker. Those things can happen based on the scheduling, simply because the schools will be operating, will be choosing them for construction as it works out to keep continuity of education, safety of the kids, and moving on. So you have a few years to go. One of the things that I hope you caught on to too when I was reading that resolution, if you look at the timelines, this process actually, this particular process started in 2010. So when you look at this and you hear people talking about making changes or maybe not liking this particular program, understand it took us 6 years to get here. So if we turn this down in November, are we really going to hold out for 6 more years to put another program together? It just gets to the point of ridiculous. And I've heard since I first served on the Board of Education in 1982 how this is not the right time to propose this. That's 30 some odd years ago. We saw that an original document that was presented to the Board of Commissioners back in 1961 said that Lincoln School should be retired. That's 60 years ago. What are we doing, guys? Okay, so we're really looking forward to the help. Be patient with the timing. It really does take a lot of time to get this through. Okay, thank you.
I think it's great that you're all together. And I'm one of these people that when the
Mr. Delashio said that we tried to get a school together years and years ago. But I have a question, and I'm all for this school, but I do have a question. How was it decided that the middle school is going up in Maryland Oval and the high school is going to stay where it is? Because we're going to run into another problem about getting people back and forth. Because when the school was changed, the grammar school up to the 3rd grade and from the, whatever the other
Forget
school.
all of that.
All right, but how are these kids going to be transported from Riverside Avenue?
It's an excellent question. One of the proposals that we had when we looked at all of this was to create at least the 4 corner schools as a pickup point where they would be bused up to Material Field. What was thought about in that situation, along with the idea of neighborhood schools of kindergarten through 6th, was that the children could then be walked to school by kids who were as old as in the 9th grade. So your children would be able to be walked to school by their older children, catch the bus, and go the rest of the way up. So basically, they're always going to be in a neighborhood school situation.
The reason I'm asking is because we had a situation like this up at our school, where I had explained when we were going through our thing for money. I was watching 3 children up at my school until their siblings came from Lincoln School to Washington School.
You won't have that.
But from Lincoln School, they had to go down to the new school to pick up their other
But you
siblings.
won't have that. I mean, you're raising questions that are addressed with this reorganization. Kindergarten through 6th grade will stay in the same building.
Okay.
Then you're going to have kids going to 7, 8, and 9 up at the new junior high school.
Okay.
They will be transported from their original school, except possibly Franklin, which would probably go just to Roosevelt, only a block away. But you will have that neighborhood feel up to the 9th grade. We all agree. You're saying what we addressed. So when you talk about neighborhood schools, this is as neighborhood a school as you're going to get.
Because I mean, a lot of people say, well, you know, kids can walk. We walked years ago. The times have changed.
Absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that's why we love the idea of having the older children walking their younger siblings to school.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Candace Streese. My daughter is in Jefferson right now. I heard you say that it's taking so many years to get everybody on the same page. 2-part question. First question is, how, from all those years of negative progress, how much of it was due to the municipality voting against it, and what happens in the event that the town votes this down?
Well, first of all, let's stick with the idea of the junior high school.
Right.
Junior high school has been passed 5-0 by the Board of Commissioners. They will be building a junior high school.
Right.
This is the first proposal that's been based in 2 separate types of theories. One, zoning, based on the redevelopment of areas in need of redevelopment, and the other, education. The areas in need of redevelopment were including Lincoln School, which the municipality has taken over through the process that's allowed by statute, and that's why we're replacing it up at Material Field. So this is the first time that anyone has taken advantage of the fact that we can provide funding from a separate source.
Okay.
And that was something we looked at many, many times, how to get that done. And the reason it takes so long is in order to do this, you needed to create through the planning board. There's 2 different boards, there's 2 different governing bodies. So the planning board needed to actually approve a zoning plan that included the areas in need of redevelopment, which has been done, to include both Material Field at least and Lincoln School at least. So that required a number of public meetings. So if anyone complains or says something to you about public meetings for the actions of the Board of Commissioners, there's been action on the Board of Commissioners and the Planning Board since 2010 to get us to this point today.
And what if, also the town, I mean, do these decisions also, and I don't mean, when I say municipality, I don't mean just the Board of Commissioners, but the town's people. They're also a factor in the approval, correct?
Only to the point of having, well, they were to all of it, because they were all invited to the meetings that the Board of Commissioners held and the Planning Board held for for the designation of the areas in need of redevelopment. And from the Board of Education side, they don't have any other provision for borrowing money to build schools other than a referendum. So that's why you have two different parts of this, but they all enter into one, which is, as the mayor said before, one project, two boards, one team.
Right.
And that's what you've created here for the first time, at least to my knowledge, unless that's how they did it in the 30s, and I don't think that was how they did it in the 30s. I wasn't here. So, no, and if we just really need to concentrate our efforts on letting the public understand, the voting public, that we're looking to create a school system now. And the system of education will benefit them because, as we see it, a good school system is worth 20% value increase in your home. Way more than
Amen.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Michael McCary. I have a daughter in Roosevelt and a son in Memorial. I've been a resident of Lyndhurst since 2001. The only question I do have, which was shared by a couple of actually two questions. One, you did say that the school is being voted. It's being built, correct?
The junior high school is done.
What will we be voting on exactly?
The additional improvements to the balance of the school district, which would be inclusive of multi-purpose rooms for the purposes of having lunch in school.
Question answered. That's right. The other thing I do have a question is approving the 2016 shared services. Who are we sharing our services with?
Each other.
Each other. There will be no children busted from outside schools.
Oh, no. This is let's call it an interlocal agreement or intra-local agreement, actually, because it's an agreement within ourselves. This is not the first one that we've done. Back, I don't even remember when the first one was, but when I was on the Board of Education, we started with the intra-local agreements, and this is just the next level of it. It's probably the biggest and highest use that I know of it. And this is really a big brainchild of our CFO, who's really helped us considerably in terms of getting this project put together. I can't thank him enough for providing opportunities to us. We've looked at this stuff and how to fund it for 30 years. We've come up with this process, and it really is work. It's going to work, obviously.
We're not taking any state aid. We're not going to be.
Well, we're going to get state aid, but that's state aid that's offered to the schools based on the type of construction and what you're doing. We're going to get probably. Thank you. I think we have to leave. We should be getting somewhere around plus or minus $4 million in state aid for this. That's not sharing with other communities. That's just a process. That's a program that the Department of Education approves for certain types of construction that's done within your district.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Via Troy.
Yeah, I passed. Everything I was going to say was already said. Thank you.
I just want to ask you one thing. Lyndhurst School, is that going to be demolished?
Yes. Yeah, that will be certainly something else.
Hi, my name is Roseanne Almeida, born and raised in Lyndhurst. My question to the junior high school first is, what grades is that included?
7, 8, 9.
Now, why 7, 8, 9? Like
9 gives us the ability to have actually expanded Lyndhurst High School without an expansion program. We take an entire grade out of Lyndhurst High School, which adds somewhere approximately 8 classrooms. We're going to you're increasing the size of the building 8 classrooms without increasing the size of the building 8 classrooms. That offers opportunities for STEM, offers opportunities for vocational training, offers opportunities for different scheduling, and that the experts that we have here in education will develop with you as we go through this course between now and November 8th. I think the teaching staff will tell you that we're at a shortage of room space at Lyndhurst High School. And this just was an excellent opportunity to do that and save a lot of money. It was really a very creative way to do this.
So what will the population be at the junior high school then?
7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade.
But no, I'm sorry, I'm like total like.
We're looking, the size of the building, I believe, is 650 students that we're looking to house there in total. We don't have that right now in the 3 grade progression, if you will. We're creating a bigger district. But we're also creating a district with the goal in mind of having 25 or less students per classroom.
Yes.
You know, so.
The lower schools, there are multiple schools?
Yeah, there'll be 5 schools, just as you, or possibly, we're still configuring the schools, there'll be K to 6.
But there'll be multiple ones, like, or...
Yeah, they'll be where you have now, you'll have neighborhood located schools.
Okay. And then like the communities that we have, like the Avalon and the
Vermella and the others, yeah.
Yeah, how do those factor into the zoning of where the kids go?
That will all be
busing.
It'll all be a function of how the demographics set up, how many kids are coming from where, how the classroom space is going to be set up. You know, we have an obligation to educate those children down there, and that was one of the catalysts for getting this done now. We're not able to stop that type of construction, the residential construction, as we had hoped to be able to over the years, but you know, now they're here, they have to be educated, they have a right to it, and we need to create classroom space so that we're not overcrowding. We offer more opportunities for electives and things of that nature.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Weren't you a teacher?
All right, my name is Barbara Carroll. I was a teacher in Lyndhurst High School for 20 years. I'd like to say thank you. My son was at Lyndhurst High School in the 90s. He was elected to Boise State in Trenton. And he went there, and as they talked, he was the only one there did not come from junior high school. So I would like to say thank you. It's past time.
I'm a Lyndhurst resident as well. We have a daughter who's going to attend Lincoln next year. Our concern is, we know it's condemned.
Condemnation is for the purposes of taking. It's not determined to have been a dangerous condition or anything else. Condemnation in the terms of like eminent domain, that type of thing.
No health issues.
There are no health issues that have arisen out of Lincoln School. This is purely a zoning matter. This has to be followed this way. It's the legal steps for the municipality to take over the property and then to replace it, which is what gives us the legal ability to be able to build your junior high.
That's our concern. Thank you.
My name is Amy Rusha, and I have a daughter at Franklin. So my question, and I don't know if I've missed it or maybe there's more information to come, but the referendum that you're talking about, I understand that it did not pass last time it was proposed. When are we going to get the information about what is in that referendum, meaning how much money you need, and then how are we supposed to go out and get all the people who don't want to pass it to come out to vote to get it passed?
Okay, that again will be, as we go through this over the next few months, we'll be holding meetings, and as Dr. Carino had said, you'll be getting information through the Board of Education to describe what it is that's happening. We're still in the process of getting our final approvals, but I mean, the overall number that we have is 19 million and change. For all the schools, not forget the junior high, that's being built. Then with a $4 million plus or minus coming from the state of New Jersey, so we're looking at a $15 million expenditure, and that'll include improvements at every one of the elementary schools and Lyndhurst High School.
And if that passes, the hope is for those improvements to start happening when?
Then you'll look at the whole process of which is the best school to start out with based on what's the least disruptive possibly. That's really a function of our administration to sit down and talk about how do they want to implement it. But I can assure you that they're going to be very aggressive in being able to do this in a safe manner. Most of the construction we're talking about is separate. There'll be separate facilities from your existing facility. But there will be some improvements that will happen within the buildings. They'll have to be done during the course of time when the kids are out. We managed, back in 2000, we managed to keep Lyndhurst High School completely open while adding an entire second floor onto our science wing. Was very tricky, it was very safe, everybody was kept out of it. We had alternate ways of traveling from one building to the next. But it's just logistical things that we talk to the engineers about, we talk to our experts in education about, and we'll get it done as quickly as we can.
And my last question is, for the last time the referendum did not pass, how many votes were we missing? What was the deficit?
But here's the kick, and forget any numbers of the past. We've never ever proposed a referendum during a presidential election. Typically you have somewhere around 2,500 people voting in a referendum. You'll probably have 8,000 people voting in November. I believe that we're of the belief that that's a positive. The more people who are out there to cast their ballot, the more likely they are not to be just naysayers who really have been habitually turning down referenda for whatever insane reason they may have.
But it was a large number?
No, some we've had them all over the lot. I mean, we probably proposed 16 or 17 referenda over the years, and only 2 have passed. One passed in 2000, and one passed in 1956, 59. So I mean, we really don't have a great track record with it, which is why you're seeing the alternative way of doing this. And the real hope is that the voting public will understand that you're building a building, now let's build the system. And the system is not that much more money than what you're doing now. So turning this down, we pay more for sewers and water than we're going to pay for school. So if we're willing to have clean water, basically have our sewage treated, I think we want to educate our kids. And it's just the way it should be.
I'm Lori. My children are 4th generation in the Lyndhurst school system. I don't know if you guys answered it or I missed it, but what happens if this doesn't pass?
Let's just say it's passing.
But if we're voting, there's a chance it might not, correct?
Of course.
So then what if?
We make another plan, but we're not making another plan.
Could you give us your last name, please?
Lori Willis.
Now you look at your taxes. Shauna would like to say a few words.
I just feel that even though we are only at the concept phase of this, it is your due right for coming here tonight and supporting us to have some more information about what are some of the key components that we're working on. And if you were part of our work last spring, you came out and you heard some ideas that we had at that point. Since then, we really recognized that we were not doing enough to listen to the community. And so we started listening to you. And we really started opening up our eyes to what so many of you are dealing with. And I know when I drive down Ridge Road in the morning and I'm dropping my son off at Lincoln School. So Lincoln School is fine for your children to go to. My son is going there, he's having a great education. The work between, talk about shared services, what the town and our facilities department does to keep these buildings up and running is fantastic. But when I'm driving and I'm seeing moms pushing strollers with kids running ahead to get to Lincoln School on time, only to see them cross Valley Brook Avenue and watch me go safely on the playground and then turn around with the stroller and the other young child in tow to get back to Washington School to get there on time. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not right for our children. That's not right for our parents. So thanks to the conversations that we've engaged in, thanks to the observations we've had, we've recognized what Lyndhurst needs. Lyndhurst is a neighborhood. Let's keep it that way. We don't want to be a small Upper Bergen County town where people don't even know one another, or it takes 20 minutes to get from one place to another. Let's keep the community that we have and let's savor that. Let's return to our neighborhood schools. Let's keep 6th grade part of their elementary education. Let's give them that childhood experience and really allow them to be connected to a school among educators who care so much for them, who can watch them grow over that time period. Let's be realistic and understand that families depend upon siblings. I did that. I depended upon my children to walk one another to school. I often had to leave the house earlier than they did. And there was just a trust factor and a dependency on that. That's what we're dealing with here. Kids have to be able to walk a sibling to school and know that they could get safely transported to their their junior high school. Particularly with the location, we want to make the most of that area. So being able to have many kids bus there is going to be a bonus for us. Lunch. If you're out and about at lunchtime, you know if you're driving, there's that concern, oh my gosh, are kids coming? We see them rushing out because they have to get to Wendy's first, or they have to get to Mr. Bruno's first before the lines start because of their time frame. And that goes to show the conscientious behavior of our students, right? So kudos to all of you for not wanting them to be late. But those are the other things. Let's offer them real on-site lunch facilities where they can eat in school, keep the food warm, and provide them with service. And then let's make use of those spaces. And how do we do that? We do it by being creative and by really looking and doing our research into modern day furniture. Furniture that serves dual purpose. Furniture that can take an empty room and suddenly create a maker space where students are hands-on involved. Learning in a STEM classroom, learning in a STEAM type classroom, real interdisciplinary type of instruction. This is what we're looking to do. We also have to pay close attention to state code and make sure that everything that we're doing for our students aligns with the state code, and we're dotting those I's and crossing those T's right now as we continue to work through the details. Tonight's purpose for my own thinking was just to generate the conversation. So let's keep the conversations going. We don't want to have you remove your schedule around in order to meet us. We want to be able to provide you with information where you are. So we're going to work really hard to be accessible at softball events, at baseball events, soccer events, anything that's going on in town. If you are part of a group that's having an event and you want to know more, please call our office and we will be happy to be there and speak and answer more of your questions in small group communities. We're really hopeful that the PTAs will support that as well. As time goes on and more details come available, we're going to be sharing that with you, but I just want to take this opportunity to really conceptually allow you to have a better understanding of what we're going to do, and at the same time how we're going to keep those class sizes down. That's another really big component here. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Right there.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Rodriguez. Mrs. DeMarco actually touched a couple of notes that I have on here. I have been a Lincoln parent, a Columbus parent, a Jefferson parent presently, and a high school parent presently also. So I've had good experiences with all of them, and I have to defend Lincoln School because till this day my children still have beautiful memories of that school. So I have to put a shout out to them, and our staff, our principals here, and I have to commend them all. My biggest concern, and this was my concern when the first referendum came up, and I did vote yes on that, but my concern is we're going to put our children in a state-of-the-art junior high school, and I'm surely hoping that the high school can live up to what they're going to need. I've seen other towns, neighboring towns, when they do develop a new junior high, they move the high school out, so the high school becomes the new building, and the junior high takes over the old building, which probably is not possible for us because of property issues. I understand that, but that's my concern, that the technology, the advancements, everything is followed through the high school level. I don't want the children to fall back when they've already been exposed to so much new technology. And the other point I want to make, which is, like I said, Mr. Munker brought up, is the eating facilities. I don't like the fact that my children have had to eat on the floor, sometimes in the gym, or on the bleachers, or sometimes, I mean, I don't mind them eating outside, but there's nowhere to put your food. So as a health concern, I do
hope that that's something that can be worked into every school. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
It definitely is. And to your point that the high school will be receiving $4.6 or $4.7 million worth of upgrades too. So in addition to just picking up 8 classrooms without cost, you're picking up almost $5 million worth of improvements.
Anyone else? Well, okay.
I have a question about the improvements that will happen that will happen in the high school. Do they have to wait till the junior high is ready?
No.
So is there any timeline for that?
As soon as the referendum passes, the hammers will hit the wall.
Great, thank you, thank you.
Municipal health. This is regarding any security enhancements in respect to the modern dangers, mass school shootings, Sandy Hook, terrorism, threat of terrorism.
You want to speak to that?
Some of the things you're dealing with
Homeland Security and that stuff.
There's a model of the new junior high school that's in the back. The people that designed the model for us, there was a professional services group that came in. They've taken a lot of studies that have gone on with mass school shootings. They've made a lobby entrance that's going to be cut off from the rest of the school. There's a lot of different things that will be in the plans that I can't put out right now. But we have a group that's working on just the security features that are going to be in the school.
That's just for the new school, or all the other schools are also going to be improved?
Well, over the years, we've been doing some improvements to the other schools. The school business administrator, David Pisa, has installed different doors. We have two foyers. We have a foyer now. When you walk into one door, you can't get to the other without getting buzzed in. We have cameras around the buildings. We have a lot of different security upgrades that have been made over the last few years. I'm sure there will be more. We have to look into. Right now, we're at a concept phase of the improvements for the existing schools. But the new school will be state-of-the-art in security and facilities overall.
And will these be proposals and ideas be available online to study or?
Well, I'm not sure that all of them will be put online. There's really no reason to do that. But yeah,
we don't want to let
we really don't want to. We want to err on the side of caution when we put out, the security upgrades. But we have a chief of police here that's extremely proactive. And he's in touch with our Board of Ed and our commissioners constantly and giving all the best practices throughout the state. So I think security-wise, our new school will be great. And the other schools will be retrofitted to make sure that they're locked down and they're solid.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Going once? Okay, we have 2 more.
I'm wondering that, I know you're saying you're making
Name?
improvements. Oh, Deborah Wordlick. I'm wondering, you're saying that you're making improvements at the high school. Do any of them include community-based instruction for the special ed students and job training and job coaches? Because I did hear a rumor of that, and I think I saw an article posted about that. And I'm very excited because my grandson is in 9th grade and he has autism, and he is absolutely loving his experience here in Lyndhurst. He is so accepted and loved at the high school and at the Lighthouse, and I'm praying that that's what you guys are going to be doing as well.
Actually, later this week, we'll be talking and finishing more conversation with our Ed Curriculum Committee group, because we've been working on this very, very closely with the entire special ed department, and we are ready to codify and move forward with CBI training completion, actually. So the faculty members and the team have already been training down with the group at Rutgers. We received a grant money for that, and we are going back to a very a very strong and structured, community-based instruction, structured learning program, so that we can in fact have students ready for the workforce, for those who are going to be moving into that world after their high school completion. But certainly we're moving on that now, and that will only be further expanded when we have the vocational possibilities open to us through the passing of the referendum and the work at Lyndhurst High School.
That's great,
Thank
because it's so important. My grandson is holding an AB average, and that's great in the classroom, but unless you teach it outside and generalize it, you know.
And that
so-
involves the job coaches.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Quick question.
Name?
Alexander Diaz. Quick question regarding the Lincoln School and the existing schools. I noticed that in the playgrounds, the paint is peeling off the walls and the benches have very sharp edges where the kids can get hurt. Is there anything we can do about that, in particular the Lincoln School?
Well, if there's any place that you notice that, you could always contact Mr. Pisa down at the board office, tell them what you're concerned about, or your principal, and they'll help you out with that, and, you know, we'll get it corrected.
Okay, I'm sure it's more than just one school.
I'm
so-
sure it is. So if you would do that and get it to the principal, and the principal will get it to the people we need to get taken care of.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and the Board of Education, I mean, you got to give yourselves a hand, because I don't think anybody anticipated this crowd. We are so happy to see you here. Let's go out and get this damn thing done. Give yourselves a hand.